What up? I'm Josh Paulson, and welcome to Your Story Now. Today we're going to look at range of interpretation, but this is where things get really interesting. I mentioned that it can be used for identifying stories, and we're going to start getting into how you can use it to actually identify stories. So we're going to look at one of our senses, and that sense is our sense of sight. So let's look at a photograph. So question, what's the range of interpretation for this photograph visually? We are given a visual, we can see the environment, we can see the people. Visually, we get the exact data. It's a photograph. We're given precise information. Therefore, how many interpretations could we take of this photograph visually? I'm not talking about sound, I'm not talking about passage of time, just visually. Visually, there is only one way that we can interpret this. Therefore, on the range of interpretation scale, sight is set to 1. Now, let's consider dramatized audio again.
Bob, get out of the toilet!
Susie yelled at her friend. He thought just because he was older, he could do whatever he wanted. Well, he couldn't.
So in this case, we actually have a much broader range of interpretation visually. How broad? Well, we're given information, but really, we're given just audio. We're hearing it all. Therefore, how things actually look is open to interpretation. We're given sounds. We're given some data through what the characters say so we can interpret, okay, it's a bathroom, there's a toilet, Bob's fishing through the toilet, but we have a very broad range of interpretation here. Now let's go back to that comic. I want a baby goat at the petting zoo raffle. Goat, goat. Try to make sure it doesn't take over the world. Goat. So just looking here at these panels, we have the characters, but they're in black and white. So, okay, is this the real world? You could actually debate this. You could argue, well, is this their world, or is this a representation of their world? Is it actually in color? Do the characters have more detail on them than we get here, versus like flat colors and gradients? Regardless, let's say that color is supposed to be there, and then we have openness of interpretation. Therefore, we're given a lot of visual information, but we still have some open because we don't know what the colors are. We don't have all of the data. Therefore, we have a pretty closed range of interpretation, but still some information. So that is range of interpretation for sight, and it allows you to compare and contrast how open to interpretation sight is for photographs, comics, books, dramatized audio, any medium.